There is today a modern conservative alternative that has got the leadership, that's got the energy, that's got the values to get this country moving. And if you vote Conservative, you are voting for hope, you're voting for optimism, you're voting for change, you're voting for the fresh start this country, our country, so badly needs. And don't let anybody tell you that there is no real choice at this election. There is a real choice. It's not just 5 more years of Gordon Brown or real change with the Conservatives. When it comes to our economy, there is a real choice. There is the Labour way of more debt and more taxes and more waste, or there is the Conservative way of saying no. We've got to stop that waste, to stop Labour's job tax, which would wreck our recovery. And look what's happened in the last few weeks. Leaders of some of Britain's biggest and most successful businesses saying that when it comes to getting our recovery going, it is the Conservatives that got it right and it's Labour who've got it wrong. Think of what Labour are saying to people in this country. They're saying we want to go on wasting your money and then we're going to put up your taxes. We say no. Every family in our country has had to make savings. Every business in our country has had to make savings. Why should government be any different? And there is real choice when it comes to the future of our society. We've had 13 years of Labour's big government and it's making our social problems worse. After 13 years, inequality is worse. The poorest have got poorer. There are still too many failing schools. We say it's time for change, it's time for the big society that we offer. Let's say to those charities and social enterprises that have got great ideas to tackle poverty, go ahead and do it. Let's say to people who have a passion for education that you can start up that great school and give our children a better chance. Let's say to that young man on welfare, we will help you, we will give you training, but if you don't take the job on offer, you cannot go on with a life on benefits. And there's a big choice when it comes to the future of our public services. There is the Labour way. More bureaucracy, more paperwork, more processes, endless targets. Or there's the modern Conservative alternative, saying to those teachers, those doctors, those nurses, you have a love of what you do, you have a vocation. We want to set you free to do the job you love and to serve the people you want to care for. There are real choices at this election. And don't let anybody tell you that real change cannot happen from this election. If we win this election, there will be real change. I want to tell you who I'm fighting this election for. It's the people I call the great ignored. They may be black or white, they may be rich or poor, they may live in the town or the country. They work hard, they set up businesses, they work in factories, they teach our children, they keep our streets safe, they obey the law, they pay the taxes, they do the right thing. They're the honest, hard-working people of our country, and they're desperate to know that in this great country we can still achieve great things. And let this campaign be about inspiring them again that real change can take place. Let's think of the mother who wants a good school for her child but the system won't provide it, and let's win it for her. Let's think of the business that's got a great idea but is held back by Labour's red tape and taxes. Let's think of the social enterprise that's got a great idea for tackling poverty but the system and the bureaucracy won't let it. Let's think of the pensioner who doesn't want handouts but who wants dignity and security in old age and wants to leave his home to his children and his grandchildren, not have to sell it to pay for his care. And let's win it for all of them. Let's think of the soldiers returning to our country who want to know not just that society cares about them, but their government will always look after them, and let's win it for all of them. I know there can be real change if we win this election, because our plans are going to be exciting, our plans are going to be radical. Not just a new set of policies, not just a new set of politicians, but a whole different way of doing things in our country. Because let's be frank about this. Look at our economy. We've had the biggest boom and bust for a generation, and we need a whole new economic model. Look at the problems in our society. We don't just need a lick of paint, we need a whole big change, not just asking, what can government do for me, but what can we all do together to make our society stronger? And look at the mess of our political system. It's not just the shame and the mess and the shambles of expenses. It's the whole top-down, I know best, do as you're told, take what you're given and just put up with it system that has to change. We know that this should be about people power. We know that politicians should be accountable to people, answerable to people, and not the other way round. So if we get in, we're going to shake things up. We're going to cut the size of the House of Commons. We're going to get rid of the ID cards. We're going to get rid of the regional nonsense. We're going to cut ministers' pay and freeze it. We're going to cut the bureaucracy that's got so out of control and make people feel proud again about that building over there, thinking, yes, it is my parliament. It's my government. It answers for me and not the other way round. That's the change that we're going to bring. And don't let anyone say we just have to put up with what we've got. We know what Labour will say. Stick with the devil, you know. Don't risk change. The other lot won't be any better. Frankly, we couldn't be any worse. But don't think like that. Where is it written that we have to put up with more debt, more taxes and more waste? Where is it written that we can't deal with the problems of antisocial behaviour and crime and violence on our streets on a Friday and Saturday night? Where is it written that we can't have the best state schools in the whole world? We're one of the richest countries in the world and we deserve better. We must be saying to people, don't just put up with what you've got. Don't just ask for better from your politicians. Demand that you get better. That is what we offer at this election. So as we go out on this campaign trail, I want everybody to say to the people of this country that there is a modern conservative alternative that's about voting for hope, voting for optimism, voting for change. This country deserves so much better than 5 more years of Gordon Brown, and that is what we must offer. So let's get out there and say, let us get off this road to ruin and instead get on the path to prosperity and progress. Let's fight for what we believe in. Let us take a case to the country, to the people of this country, about hope, optimism and change, and let's win this election for the good of the country that we love. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.